Hi, I'm doing a video today because last Friday my fridge started to fail and I opened the door and suddenly it was 50 degrees in there, and then Tuesday it died completely, the whole unit, and it was the cooling unit. And it goes back to last summer when the roof was not done right and there was a leak, and the man that did the roof said there's no way it's that vent up there. The only place it could be coming in was the side thing, and so some other RV guy made that metal thing that went on the outside, and that caused the heating unit to get too hot and clog. And so you can't put screens in those vents, I found out. It'll actually void the warranty of your new fridge if you have a new one, and it will make the heating unit, which causes the fridge to cool, not work and clog up. And once they start to clog, they clog more and more, and then they also can start a fire once they start to clog if you still keep running them. So that can happen too. That's dangerous. So that hood, it brought air in, it brought enough air in for it to operate, but it still got it hotter and caused issues. So it turned out to be the vent up there in the mist spots, and they got repaired, as you remember if you saw my videos last summer. And I'm not opening the door to show you. There's still some frozen stuff up there I'm working on. There's still some stuff here that's like staying stable for a little bit. And I've gone like out into the town to try to, you know, not me, but calling the two places that I would logically get produce, like right locally. The co-op was extremely rude. They were like that seed place, extremely rude. And actually none of the women with the buying club that I get food from every month, one of the places, none of them will go in there at all. So it's not just me. It's not just the problem I have with them. It's, you know, as far as helping me get smaller pieces of produce that will not, you know, that when you cut them, you just use them all in one serving. Because this onion in here, that's the size of a grapefruit. You can't use that in one serving. And Safeway was a little more helpful, but then when the volunteer went in today, they wouldn't break a bag open like the guy said yesterday that they would, and the manager said that they would. So I'm kind of stuck with this is about the smallest I can get. It's a pretty big yellow onion still. Pretty big, and everything's organic. I have to have organic because with my system the way it is, I'm kind of allergic basically to that glyphosate. I get very sick from it. So I basically have to try to figure out what I can do counter-wise, and you know, like maybe 2 or 3 days wise, like, oh well, if I bring something in, it really needs a refrigerator, but it'll last out for 2 or 3 days. And I especially have to worry about it when it gets to be 110, because I consolidated one of my cards onto like a low interest loan, and I have those payments to make, and then my credit's really, really bad, so my big huge card, I can't consolidate that, so I'm stuck with having to fight to fast to make the minimum payments. And what I do with my fast is I'll have 2 really small meals. One day I'll have like Budwig for lunch, which is the cottage cheese thing with the black soil and some fruit, and then I'll have like scrambled eggs with tomato and half an avocado for dinner. And then the other 2 days are my fasting days, so I'll have like a smoothie, you know, the next day, and the next day following that I'll have like maybe a big salad or oatmeal with vegetables or something like that for my one meal. And so that's kind of what I have to do. And I've lost all this food now, so it's going to be really rough after I'm through working through this. Right now I'm actually getting 2 meals a day, so it's kind of fun getting that extra a little bit. And then after I work my way through that, I'll have to go back to the old diet or worse. But I'm just not going to be able to, you know, make enough salad greens off of that to do a salad every day, a small salad every day. I'm just not going to do it. I do have some Italian food up there, and some of the basil will be ready to pull a sprig off the top as part of its pruning. And I'll do that. And I did call places to try to get ice they have these big, huge bags. I can't lift them. I can't deal with them. You know, there's no way that I'm going to be able to do the ice chest thing where I, you know, fill it with ice every day, put my food in it, and dump it out. I'm just not in a health situation to do that. But the crisper drawers, they're a lot smaller, and so the one place that promised me ice for 2 crisper drawers only gave me ice for 1. So that's only going to last a couple days anyway. The volunteers, you know, they shop for me, and once a week. And I've talked to the agency. We're gonna start doing 2 weeks after next week. I should have signed up for like this Monday, but I didn't, or this week sometime or something, but I didn't. So they're gonna start shopping a couple days a week, and on those days I guess I could have them get ice if they're willing to, like, you know, deal with the big bags. I have severe Raynaud's too, so I can't be, you know, scooping ice, lifting ice. I can't be bending and lifting, stuff like that. So, you know, if they're willing to put it in my crisper drawers, then I have a couple days of cold, and that basically is a giant, you know, ice chest, basically, without the, you know, without the cooling unit on it. That's what it is. It's got plastic walls. It's well insulated. So anything like I have out here is going to be cooler kept in there, because when it cools down at night and everything. It's not, I've looked into like getting maybe a bar type fridge. The apartment fridges, I don't have enough solar to run them. I barely have enough solar to run my Mighty Cool at 1 amp, and my computer and the lights and the grow lights. And I've come a long way with this thing, people. Look, you know, I'm pruning the basil constantly, so they haven't become full bushes yet. But I guess I could do like half salads or quarter salads, you know, maybe once or twice a week, off the lettuce that I get at the perimeter that's going bad on the outside, pruning the outside of that, and still be able to keep a plant growing to maybe have a good lettuce plant. And with that, nuts and seeds. And then what I can do with beans, I can soak maybe like a tiny handful of beans and soak them and then cook them up and have them be like a meal. That way there's no leftovers, you know, dried beans, because that's what I was wanting to go to anyway. Who wants aluminum cans or BPA lids, or who wants any of that? That, you know, when you're sick, that's not what you need. So, basically that's what I'm doing. There's no way to rob Peter to pay Paul to buy a fridge. Now, a new propane fridge that's like apartments, we're not talking apartment size, we're talking like bar size, enough for like a few cans of soda type thing. They're like $500, and that would just take away from saving for another one of these, because a brand new one of these is going to actually be cheaper than the cooling unit, but a lot less labor to install than a new cooling unit. So we're looking at like the end of 2018 for me to even start, you know, being able to pull money together for this. You know, depending on what I sell on Craigslist. You know, I'm getting calls for $5 items every so often, like once a week maybe, you know, and that could go toward it, because now my stuff is with me and I can answer the phone and, you know, attend to the people. So I can just see what happens there. But definitely when I started out off the grid, you know, life really wasn't that much different. But as the expenses crop up, as things happen, as maintenance comes up, the bills get higher and higher and higher, the payments get higher, the interest gets higher, and it gets higher and higher and higher. And as things go wrong and have to be replaced, hot water heater, heater motor, I knew that before I moved in, the heater motor though, and things have to be replaced. A trash can that my landlord told me I was crazy would never fly into my heater vent, that heater vent had to be repaired. All those things, they add up. They add up. Everything adds up. So by the time you've been off grid a year, you've got a lot more expenses and bills than you've had when you first go off. And so when something goes wrong, you can't just go out and do something. Can't go out and do something. So that's kind of where we're at here. You know, I'm definitely not going to be able to get something else or to really have a way to keep food cool at all. But then on the other hand, 100 years ago, that's about the time these things came in. We didn't have these, you know, up until about then. So, I mean, the ancestors, yeah, they were able to get in and out more. They were stronger, and they didn't have the health issues. And the people that had health issues like me, they just never made it. You know, they wouldn't even be alive at the point that I'm at now. You know, they'd be gone already. But we definitely have a different world. Look around. Look, we have all these things that help us out. You know, mighty cool over there, and computers, and we have a little more technology, and phones to call people, and, you know, cars to take us around, and all that stuff. So we have more things that make, you know, life livable, even if you aren't hardy. So I'll keep you posted on my life, and if you like it, subscribe, share, and comment, and have a great day.